Bien, ¿usted?
También bien, pero ya veo entrevistas por todos lados. Ya casi acabamos, ya casi acabamos. Ok. ah, te iba a decir que sí empezaba la grabación, justo. Entonces, ahora vas a tener que editar este pedazo. Ah, Empiezas la grabación y yo te cuento 5 minutos y nos pasamos en inglés, ¿vale?
Ok.
Okay. Here, the timer is set now. Uh, uh, let's talk about the PCR. What's the PCR?
Well, the PCR basically is a technique that
Mhm.
serves as like to amplify a certain type of a certain DNA sequence.
Okay,
Like
so mhm.
it it uses different cycles so that the DNA can be like duplicated by the polymerase.
Okay. So what do you think that you need for to perform a PCR?
Well, you need the DNA sequence like to
Mm-hmm.
perform it. You need
Mm-hmm.
the DNTPs, the
Okay.
certain primers to like attached to the sequence, the
Okay.
polymerase,
Mm-hmm.
and phenuclease water. Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
And well, the equipment, the device,
Okay.
the thermocyclador. I
Second.
don't know how to
Second. Okay.
say.
Okay. So in the cloning strategy,
Mm.
where do you use the PCR?
You can
Where
use a
it's
PCR
helpful?
if to like see if your gene is like ligated to your plasmid
Okay.
to
Mm-hmm.
see if it's already into the plasmid, and also,
Okay.
well, you can duplicate the gene of interest also. Like if you
Okay.
want to amplify the sequence, that's
Okay.
where you can use PCR.
Okay. So when you want to amplify the gene of interest, uh, what does this gene has to have to be introduced to the plasmid? What's the characteristic?
Well, you have to, well, the gene has to have sticky ends, like
Mm-hmm.
certain type of restriction sites, so it
Mm-hmm.
can fit in the plasmid.
Okay. And how can I add this sticky ends?
These sticky ends, well, you can add them in, I think also like in a PCR maybe? Yes,
Yeah.
the PCR
Yeah.
you can add them.
Absolutely. So the PCR adds the sticky ends to the gene because the gene it doesn't have per se
Yes.
that the sticky ends. Okay. Now, what else? Once you have the gene of interest and the plasmid is open, what happens next?
When you have your plasmid open and you have like your gene of interest, it's like the process of ligation when the gene is going to insert into the plasmid, like
Mm-hmm.
it joins in the like in
Okay.
the parts, like the sticky ends, they have like the sequence and the complementary one. So you
Okay.
join
Mm-hmm.
those ends in the process of
Mm-hmm.
ligation.
Okay, ligation. And now what happens? What's the next step? You already assembled the vector with the gene and you want to produce a protein. What would be the next step?
Well, you need to induce the expression of the desired protein
Mm-hmm.
with, well, if you have the promoter, you need
Mm-hmm.
to you need to like get rid of the repressor that it's
Mm-hmm.
blocking the code
Okay.
for the protein. So you can
Mm-hmm.
add like a specific compound like IPTG so
Okay.
that it can start the transcription process.
Okay. What would be the characteristic of the host cell to allow the transcription of the just of the gene and the plasmid?
What characteristic needs the
Yeah.
host organism?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, I think you need to have like the origin, the origin site in adequate to the organism you want to, like, the protein to express.
Okay.
You know, the
And does
origin
the host
replication site.
or the host allows the plasmid to get inside of it easily? It's just like you present the vector and
Ah,
the gene and suddenly it acquires the
well, you need to
plasmid.
give an advantage to the host cell so it can like introduce the plasmid, so you can use like antibiotic resistant genes, so that the plasmid could have like, the host cell could have like an advantage to those antibiotics, so you
Okay.
grow your organism in the presence of those antibiotics.
Okay. Okay. And in terms of the membrane of the host, how
It
does the
needs to
membrane?
be like permeable. You can
Mm-hmm.
do it with certain transformation processes, I don't know, like electroporation or a chemic
Okay. Mm-hmm.
competence method.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. Great, Javi. Well, you, you can stop the recording.
Okay.
I just